Yeah, Illinois has been too successful this season. They are 2-8 overall, and those wins have come over Ball State and Western Kentucky, and those were the first two games of the season. So it's been a long time, and it was fairly hot weather when Illinois was winning games. Those first two games of the season, they haven't won since the second week of September, like September 9th. 8 consecutive losses for Illinois, 7 of those in the Big Ten, and they have been beaten down pretty badly by most of those teams, although it looks as though they played Minnesota pretty close at 24-17. I saw a little bit of the Wisconsin game, and it was one of those that the Badgers looked as though with the 11 a.m. kickoff local time that they were just kind of slopping their way through and sleeping their way through, just get to the finish line at 24-10. So Illinois really hasn't. 24-14 against Indiana last week. 29-10 against Purdue, so they haven't gotten annihilated. Even the Iowa game was 45-16 as a final, but it was like 21-16 sometime in the second half. They were hanging in there against the Iowa Hawkeyes. So they've played fairly well. They almost got a win against Rutgers as well. So they've been within a couple scores of just about everyone. That will be a major moral victory if Lovie Smith and his crew can stay within 2 scores of Ohio State in Columbus, with what we saw, especially with the Buckeyes doing to Sparty last week. Illinois has a rather well-known quarterback's father in play in this game, Claire.
Jeff George is his father, and he will be Jeff George Jr. at quarterback. Just went over the job in October. In Illinois' defense, they are the youngest team in the nation. They're starting more freshmen than anybody else in the NCAA even. So they definitely have a young team that's working to improve with Lovie Smith. Jeff George has got really one go-to target. Ricky Smalling is his quarterback. Ricky Smalling is actually second in the Big Ten right now in yards per catch, just a little bit over 17. However, he's just got 2 touchdowns on the season. So it leads me to believe that he may not be the most physical of receivers. However, it also leads me to believe that he might be pretty sneaky about getting out there into space. So this Ohio State secondary that has been put to the test this year and has shown improvement needs to simply stay disciplined.
Some Big Ten fans may have lost track of Mike Dudek. So Mike Dudek was a lowly regarded or lightly regarded, to put it in more kind terms, coming out of high school as a recruit. So not a heavily recruited kid, undersized, 5'11", about 175 pounds, coming out of high school. He signed with Illinois and had a tremendous 2014 freshman campaign with Illinois. 76 catches, almost 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns. Unfortunately, Mike Dudek blew out his knee the next year going into 2015. He re-injured the knee as he had come off rehab, getting ready for 2016. So we haven't seen Mike Dudek play for 2 seasons full going into 2017, and he's contributed 24 catches this year and 1 touchdown. So not the prolific passing threat, receiving threat that he was in 2014, but good to see him back in the lineup for the Illini, although he has not played the last 2 weeks, so he might be nicked up again. But very odd career, unfortunately, for Mike Dudek, catching 76 passes for 1,000 yards as a freshman in the Big Ten, and then missing 2 complete seasons and coming back now. And he has a number of red shirts in play, so we may see him again next season in 2018 for Illinois.